Hi there, this is Larcy from the Unstoppable Branding Agency, and I'd like to show you how to actually schedule a live stream in Facebook, through Zoom. So the goal of this tutorial is, to have a planned live stream notification or a planned live stream post on a Facebook page so that it will give your audience a heads up that you're going to be doing a live soon. All right, and later on I'll be teaching you on how to actually set up a webinar and rebrand it and edit the custom live URL so that it will go live stream in your Facebook page. Okay, so now I am inside the Unstoppable Mama page, and what I'm going to do is to show you how to schedule it in here. All right, but before we go ahead and do that, we need to set up our webinar first. And for you to be able to use the webinar feature of Zoom, you would need to have a pro account. I believe that is about $15 a month, and you would need to have an add-on that is about $40 a month for the webinars, right? So here I'll be setting up a new webinar. So I'll click on schedule a webinar. And you just need to put in all the required information for this webinar. Oops. So you just got to put in the topic for your webinar. The description is optional. If you want to leave it blank, that's okay. And of course the date. And if you want to require registration, you can hit that one, and then this one should be turned on. So your host and your panelist video should be turned on, and you can join both for the audio. You can click Q&A if you would like to. I prefer not because I'd like to keep the chat inside the chat room or in the Facebook Live. All right, and then you just have to click on schedule, and then that's it. So you have to be mindful of the date and the time that you'll put in here, right? Because this should sync in your Facebook Live. Okay, now I have already set up a recurring webinar because we're doing Help Me Run the Show every week. But let me just show you how I am customizing our Zoom webinars for you to live stream on Facebook. Okay. Okay, so here's the webinar that I have set up already. I put in a title, Help Me Run the Show. And I got all the details in here. Now, before I go ahead and start this webinar, and it needs to be prepared. So you would want to set up your invitation, right? So if you would like to send, if you have set it, for your watchers to register first, then you would have to configure the email settings, right? And together with the email settings, you would need to fix the branding as well. So I prefer our webinars to have, kind of a branding. And what we're doing is to create a banner like this one. Please note that this is very, very specific in size, so you would have to consider that as well. And then we put in our logo, and it's gonna look great if I'll take a look at the webinar registration page. So it will show up that way. And I'm not going to dig deeper into that because the goal right now is for me to teach you on how to actually live stream it on Facebook, right? So on this one, you're going to have this live streaming option, right? So typically what we do is when we do our webinar in Zoom, we just hit the go live in Facebook, but it's sometimes giving us an error. So it will be best to actually schedule the Facebook Live and set up the custom live streaming service, right? So what you need to have is a stream URL, the stream key, and the live streaming page URL for you to set this up. Now, how are we going to get it? We will get it directly from your Facebook scheduled live, right? So we go back to the Facebook page and we click on live. Okay. All right, then when you go live, it's going to give you this option. Instead of going directly live in your Facebook page, you click on connect, right? And you would want to put in the title of your show on your scheduled live. Okay, and here's the key that I was talking about a while back when I was in Zoom. I mentioned that we'll be able to get it from Facebook, and here they are. So this is the server URL and the stream key, and the Facebook live stream URL should be the URL of the page, right? So let's put in the title of our show. All right. And you just copy it, put it on the title. And this server URL, you would need to copy it, bring it to the Zoom settings, right? This one. Typically it's empty, but since I've been doing a lot of live streams in custom live setup, it's giving me a value. But you would just have to make sure that what you have in here is correct and that it is matching with what you have in Facebook. All right, so you copy the stream key. Again, you bring it over to the custom live stream configuration, and you just copy and paste the Facebook page URL. Then you click save. Okay, after that, you're all good with Zoom. And what you need to do is to go back to your Facebook setup, right? You hit schedule. All right. Typically, it's going to give you a preview for the Facebook Live, and mostly it's just giving you the banner of your Facebook page in here. But if you'd like to customize it, you can just upload an image. All right. And once you have uploaded the image, you just have to drag it to reposition, make it look nicer. There you go. Okay, and again, you would have to make sure that the date and the time is properly synced with what you have in Zoom. Please do not get confused. Sometimes Zoom is showing up a different time zone, and then your time zone in Facebook is different as well. It just depends on the account and the time zone that you have set up for both platforms. So what you need to do is just to sync them. So just like, for example, we are doing our Help Me Run the Show every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. EST, but since I'm in the Philippines, I'll be setting up this one in my own time zone because my Facebook is scheduled that way. And 10 a.m. my time, right? So that's 10 p.m. EST. So once this is done, I'm okay with the image that I got here. I click on Save Changes, and there you go. This is the news feed announcement preview. Okay, so it's gonna give us the Help Me Run the Show will be live streaming in Facebook at 10 p.m. EST or 10 a.m. Bali. Okay, so once you have set this up, you just have to click on schedule. This is how it's going to look like, and basically this is how it's going to look like to on your audiences, and they're going to get a notification that you're going to go live at this time, and then they can just click on the get reminder button so that they'll be reminded just before your Facebook live, right? So if you would like people to join you in Zoom, inside the Zoom room, you could just give them the join link, send them the registration URL or the join URL, and they should be able to join you inside Zoom. But if not, if you're just going to be doing it alone, that's fine. And all you just need to do is to get inside Zoom and go ahead and live stream it on Facebook. Now, how are you going to do that? Let me show you. So let's say, for example, it's now time for you to get on a live and have it live streamed on Facebook. You would need, a few minutes of preparation because sometimes Zoom is, taking a little while to load. So I am advising maybe you could launch your Zoom room in about 10 minutes before the live. So let's do it. I'll just hit on start this webinar. Okay, Zoom webinar might ask you to install the Zoom app for you to launch the Zoom room. That's okay, you just have to download it and then launch the webinar. All right, so I am inside the Zoom room already, right? You've seen here this button, participants, because just like what I mentioned a while back, if you would like people to join you inside the Zoom room, you can give them the join link and you'll be seeing them as attendees. All right, they will not be able to join you inside the Zoom room unless you promote them as a panelist. So once their name has popped up in this area, you just have to right click on their name and then promote them as panelists, and they should be able to join you inside the Zoom webinar. All right, so how are you going to live stream it on Facebook? That's what we have set up a while back. What you need to do is just to click this three dot icon in here, more, and then click on custom live streaming services. It will only work if you have scheduled the live stream on Facebook the same time that you have scheduled the webinar inside Zoom. And also it will only work if the URL, the stream key that we have set up a while back in Zoom webinar settings, that needs to be correct as well. It needs to match what has been shown in your Facebook Live setup a while back. All right, so you need to make sure of that. And then once you click on this live custom live stream services, you should be able to go live in Facebook. It's the same URL that you have set up a while back for the reminder or the planned live. So it's going to live stream on that same URL. Okay. All right. So that's how it works. And for your own use, you can also record the webinar for your resources, because sometimes you can download from Facebook, but it's just going to give you low resolution. So I am advising to record the webinar as well in your computer or on the cloud using Zoom, so you're going to get the high resolution. All right, so again, to live stream it, click on the three dots button and hit on live custom on live streaming service. Okay. Hope this helps, and I'm excited to see one of your Facebook Lives using Zoom. All right, this has been Larcy from Unstoppable Branding Agency. Bye.